Precious Achiuwa slowly turned everybody into a fan. Some came early, some came later, but we all arrived there at some point. A player who used to show one tantalizing flash for every six mistakes has now found a much healthier ratio. He dazzles on the court. And we've talked about his defense before and how his future, is laden with all defensive honors and all that kind of stuff. But today, I want to talk about his offense, that oh so alluring pop that he brings. But before we do that, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm told it helps. Of the Raptors' six players averaging double-digit points in the postseason, two of them are shooting 50% or better from the floor. One of those two is shooting 40% or better from three. It's Precious Achiuwa. Is this a stupid way to frame the conversation? Is it dumb that I'm not just saying efficiency is something that big men do and low usage players as well? I don't think so because Achiuwa is already soaring well past the offensive player that we saw for so much of the season. A player who never knew where to be on offense, who couldn't finish at the rim, and who tanked their efficiency. This is a player who is radically different post All-Star break. Now we're seeing zone possessions that funnel to him to punch gaps. We see swings that reach him above the break, and that his ability to put the ball on the floor stretches the 76ers defense too thin. On a team whose lead guard is struggling to provide looks for the rest of his teammates and is now questionable for game 5, and has also seen injuries and illnesses strike two of their other most important players, Scotty Barnes and Gary Trent Jr., Achiuwa is larger than life. The Raptors sold the idea of this team under the banner of everyone looks the same. But when it comes to the guys who play the most like bigs, Birch, Boucher, and Achiuwa, his skill set is singular. Scotty Barnes is no doubt the face of this philosophy, this long ball era that the Raptors are trying to introduce. He is that guy. But for this year, Pascal Siakam's all NBA output and very unique skill set drives most of their success. This philosophy is about skill sets way before it is about size and length. There's a reason that the uber competitive Game 3 featured so much of Achiuwa's offensive punch, and that Game 4 featured so much of Thad Young's playmaking. All this to say, more emphatically, Achiuwa is unique. Boucher will continue to bang for boards and cut well, but Achiuwa is the one who can take a broken play from 35 feet, shift the defender with an in and out dribble, and glide to the front of the rim. Nick Nurse proudly stated that the Raptors scored 1.3 points per possession against the 76ers zone in Game 3. It was 1.8 in Game 4, by the way. But anyway, that doesn't happen without Achiuwa's ability to foray into the more guard-adjacent skills. He catches the ball in the middle of the floor, dribbles back out to put Embiid on an island, and gets the blow by for a finish. Again, zone busting, and Embiid freaks out to cover Siakam, and Precious eats up that space for a soaring left-handed finish. Of course, roll gravity is uber important, and the Raptors haven't had a dominant roll threat since Jonas Valanciunas. Achiuwa growing in this way would be huge, but his ball skills and his soft touch at the bucket is really what's popping off against the 76ers in this series. The 76ers have shown they're very capable of handling the known offensive variables of the Raptors offense. Fred VanVleet's pick and roll game, it has struggled. Kem Birch hasn't been able to find any rhythm for the little pop shots. And guys like Gary Trent Jr. and OG Anunoby are consistently run off the three-point line. To beat the 76ers and most playoff defenses, you have to be adaptable, and Precious is inscrutable.
Precious has so many moves. I told you guys that, right? You never know what he's going to do out there. I keep saying we got to stick to a few, but he keeps busting out new ones.
One of the most interesting aspects of the second half of the Raptors season was Precious rescuing his offensive game from the hideous depths that it occupied. And he's continued that form on the biggest stage available to him. This version of the Raptors finding success in the regular season, in the postseason, it hinges on a bunch of different players coming together to develop at the same time and to find new heights consistently, day after day. And very few players embody that better than Precious Achiuwa, who continues to climb to new heights, both on offense and on defense. He's such a fascinating player, and this series and the second half of the season very clearly show that this is the tip of the iceberg. There's more to access here. How much we see in the immediate future, who knows, but he's giving plenty now. I really hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for tuning in. Before you get out of here, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see ya.